Hello, how are you? I'm going to have a different topic today. I'm going to go back and talk about the beast out of the earth or the false prophet. I'm going to show today that we know who that beast is. The beast out of the earth or the false prophet. That's what it's called. And we can find that in Revelation 13. Please, if you have never read Revelation 13, I think it starts either with verse 9 or 11. The description, please do so. Stop the video right now and read it. We'll see if I get to it or not. But yes, there's still lots of people that are just guessing around who that is. Now, the most important thing is we need to understand what a beast is. And so we have to go to Daniel 7. That's where Daniel describes 4 beasts. And he says that these 4 beasts will exist to the end until Jesus returns, Jesus' second coming, and he will destroy them all. Now, how do I know? Because we have to compare it to Daniel 2. In Daniel 2, we have an indication who this statue is. Okay? The statue is the same thing, symbolic representation of the 4 beasts. So in that statue, we have 4 world empires. We have the Babylonian, the Persian, the Greek, and the Roman. And people make no mistake, the Roman Empire is still alive. The last empire, remember in the statue, turned into 10 toes. And these 10 toes symbolize actually the Holy Roman Empire or Europe. And it's mixed with what? It's not totally Roman, which is the symbolic representation for the Romans, is the iron. It's the military power. And because it is mixed with something else that made this empire brittle, wouldn't cling together. Constantly, they were constant fighting amongst each other. And what is that clay? Well, I believe the clay is is the Vatican. It's the religious system. This little horn that we then see on top of the last beast in Daniel 7. See these beasts, right? Again, symbolism for the 4 empires. And the last empire changing, morphing into this different beast that's different, right? They say it's different. If you read, of course, Daniel 7, and it grew these 10 horns. So there was this beast originally, like the other beasts, but then it morphed into this beast with horns, and then there was this little horn, and the other ones didn't have that. Because they're all symbolic. These 10 horns then became the European, the Holy Roman Empire, which we today call Europe. Remember, one of the heads of that beast was wounded. We see that in Revelation 13, this beast out of the sea, okay, which is the last beast in Daniel. One of the heads was wounded. And after that wounded head We didn't have really the Holy Roman Empire anymore. We had now Europe. Okay, the united, what is it called? European nation. That's what we have today. That's the revived Holy Roman Empire. The revived last beast that was wounded. And now there's a lot of people confuse the beast with the Antichrist and with the whore on top, and they do not really make a distinction between the horn on top, which is the whore in Revelation 17, and the actual beast, which is the political system. Of course, the whore on top, when we look at the whore on top in Revelation 17, which is the same thing as the little horn in Daniel 7, we see then that there's a distinction between that little horn and the beast. So the political system. Make no mistake, they're political systems. But see, what was very different, the Holy Roman Empire, most from the beginning, yeah, you can say that, from the time the Roman Empire fell, the little horn grew out of it and took over control of the empire, the Holy Roman Empire. That's why it was called Holy Roman Empire. And the Pope had power over the Holy Roman Empire, total power until the Reformation. And then he continued to have power over some of the countries, but not all of Europe anymore. So that's when Europe kind of started to break up. It started to go in turmoil, and the Pope could not keep power anymore. And so when that happened, and then eventually the Holy Roman Empire was wounded, that is when the next empire stepped in, and that is the beast out of the earth. Now, if you have all this information, you should be able to put together who then is this other beast. Of course, beast is always what? Empire. Okay? Empire. So then, today, we have this empire that stepped in to rescue this wounded Holy Roman Empire. I hope you know who that beast is. That beast is the United States. United States is not Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is a religious system. If you read it, the description in Revelation 17, you should know that it is a religious system. A religious system that's dressed in purple and scarlet. It's a religious system which all the merchants bow down to her, and the political systems, the rulers, bow down to her. That is a religious, it's a she, okay? It's a she because it's a church. The true church is a she as well. She, the church, the bride. Now the whore is also a church, but it's the Vatican. It's the Roman Catholic Church. And again, the Roman Catholic Church ruled this beast out of the sea for many years, totally. But then it went underground and infiltrated all governments, especially the beast out of the earth. It infiltrated the United States from the beginning. From the beginning. I have suggested a long time ago for you to read this book by Charles Chiniquy called 70 Years or 50 Years in the Roman Church. 50 Years in the Roman Church. I will put a link on the bottom. It may be free on archive.com, but that's a book you should be reading, because he's a priest that was 50 years in the Roman Church, and he learned firsthand the plans of papacy and, of course, the Jesuits. And today we have exactly these plans put in place. They're almost finished to take over the United States. Who has taken over? Well, the Jesuits, or the Vatican through the Jesuits. That's what we have today. So I want to make sure today the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I watched an interview with my favorite historian, Daniele Ganser from Switzerland, who wrote this book, The Ruthless Empire, or USA, The Ruthless Empire. And I have mentioned him a long time ago, but since he did an English interview, I wanted to recommend it. And so I'm going to put a link in the description box so you understand why the United States is today the empire. There is no other empire. We had various empires in Europe, but really Europe as a whole was the Holy Roman Empire with the 10 horns. And these 10 horns symbolized, of course, the kings of Europe that kept taking turns in ruling the world. Okay? In taking turns being an empire, a world empire. It's a little bit different. It's not like there was one ruler that always, or one country that always was an empire. But they kind of shared. One time it was Austria, one time it was the German emperor, and then it was, of course, France was empirical, empire, really, because they, took over the world. They all wanted to take over the world. Spain, Portugal, England, they were all sharing in taking over the world. And who did they take over the world for? Well, for the Pope. Okay? The Pope does not have a military power, and that's the only way he could take over the world. But when Europe kind of fell after the First World War, it already started, then the papacy had to look for somebody else that would do the military power. Okay? And so he found somebody that was willing to do it, and that was the United States. Now, of course, Americans, we didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. I wasn't even here at that time, but Americans didn't know about it. Nobody knew it. They opened the door and let this stuff in because they didn't ask questions. They were so busy getting rich, okay? Getting rich, doing well, getting a good job, building a house, all these things that Americans do and other people do. It's actually the American dream, right? They were following the American dream, and by following the American dream, they did not see who came in to take over the country. Oh, they trusted their politicians. Oh, we have a democracy, we're voting. But people early on, our elections were rigged. Yes, not rigged like the last one. I'm talking about they were manipulated. So you really didn't have a real choice. Of course, there's always, you always were either Democrats or Republican, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we should see it today very clearly that we really do not have no choice. We have no choice in who we're going to vote for. Why not? Because people always say, shadow government or deep state, all that. Yeah, okay, but you need to know who that deep state is. Who is behind the U.S.? Oh no, we're a democracy, we're independent. Well, yeah, we're the strongest country in the world, right? We're an empire. Well, and a lot of times people don't even acknowledge that and realize that. Oh, sure not. We're not an empire. Oh, it's Russia. It's China is the empire. So what is an empire? An empire has empirical tendencies. It has a tendency to take over the world. Oh, the U.S. is not doing that. We're only bringing democracy into this world. No. I want you to watch this interview with Daniele Ganser. Okay? Because you need to understand maybe some of the things about what an empire is and also what the U.S. has done for at least 80 years or more. I would think since the First World War. America was pulled into this role as an empire, I think, since the First World War. Of course, it was groomed before, but what is really the end goal is to bring down the United States. It's very clear in that book with Charles Chiniquy that that's the goal of papacy. Papacy did not like that the United States has freedom for its people. Didn't like that you can choose your religion. You understand why, right? Because the Pope wants to be supreme ruler in this world. He wants to be right beneath God, or actually, he wants to be God, period. Okay, so he had no interest. All that, what America stood for, freedom, and especially freedom of religion, but all the other freedoms too, civil freedoms, the Pope didn't want, because the Pope wanted to have control like in Europe. Period. And because all the Protestants came over here, he wanted to destroy the United States. And that is exactly what has happened. And we know that our democracy, well, it's not a democracy, right? Federalism is attacked. Okay, our amendments, our Constitution, they are attacked. They have been attacked for years now. And especially we saw during the pandemic the most. And who is our president? Hello, who is our president? What kind of religion does he have? That should tell you. That should tell you. But even people, if you look at Trump, for instance, and who he is loyal to, the reason why he became president the first time was because he was loyal to the Vatican. Yeah, and people can say, oh no, he's not. Yes, he is. He is. Oh, he is loyal. He's loyal to the evangelicals. No, he is also loyal to them. But the people that he is loyal, those evangelical people that he's loyal to are also loyal to the Pope. Yeah, you need to check it out. But yes, if you still don't understand that the United States is an empire, watch this video, okay, that I'm recommending with Daniele Ganza. Oh, it's so obvious that we are this empire, that we are this beast out of the earth, that we are this false prophet. We are the false prophet. I have talked about that. I have made a video about that. Maybe you should go back, look under my playlist, Antichrist. I have several videos under it, and there's one specifically talking about why the United States is the false prophet. Of course, it's very obvious why. I mean, who has brought all this corruption into this world? Everybody in the world is looking up to the United States, and all the corruption, though, that the United States is taking in this world. False democracy. I mean, we hear that all the time. Oh, democracy, we're bringing democracy in this world. I mean, how can you say a democracy is war? Because that's what every time those people that bring democracy in this world, they war first. They kill everybody else. It's not democracy. When you kill everybody that you don't like and you don't agree with. Is that democracy? For me, that's a dictatorship. It's a dictatorship. No. You know, I mean, you can't make another person look bad so you can destroy that person. That's not democracy for me. Democracy is when you allow people to choose what they wanna, how they wanna live. If they want to be communists, let them live as communists. If they want to live as Muslim, let them live as. We are in this world to make a choice. We have given choice. God gives us choice, and He says, "Do not pull out the tares ahead of time." So He's actually saying, don't kill anybody. He says, let them all live and grow together until the end. Until I come and make harvest. That's the wrath of God. I don't have the right to condemn somebody else. Interesting, in this video, one was saying, well, what would have happened to Europe if the United States would have not stepped in? Yeah, what would have happened when the United States would have not stepped in and bombed, should I say, the shit out of Germany? Well, that's what you say, the snot. Okay, I can say the snot. The snot will work. Okay. Yeah, and I mean it. Bombed the snot out of Germany. I mean, did you ever learn about what the United States did with Germany? They bombed innocent, and they always do that, of course, civilians, refugees, okay? There were no military in those cities, and they bombed them ruthlessly. They have calculated how many bombs they had to throw into a city to burn it to the ground. And that's the way to bring democracy? Could have there been another way? How to solve the problem? Is there another way that we can solve the problem in Ukraine instead of killing every man in the Ukraine, and bring other soldiers in from Europe? Is there any other way we can do it? You mean the human beings are limited in how to resolve issues. Daniele Ganser said it also, you know what, Europe had a tendency to just constantly war, war. And they couldn't get it together to make peace with each other. Now, Europe made that attempt from after the Second World War. They wanted to make peace, but very soon, no, they were pulled into wars with the United States because they had a contract, of course, with NATO. And when NATO, and you hear that in this video too, when NATO said, or United says, hey, we're going to war, you're going to, the other ones ran as well. Germany struggled and didn't want to participate, and I guess it becomes easier and easier once you become pulled in to say yes. But people, there is no doubt in my mind that this beast out of the earth is the United States. The United States is not Babylon. So many people say that. Oh, the United States, Babylon. No. People, Babylon the Great is the Vatican. That's what Babylon the Great is. So that only leaves the United States with an empire, of course, because it's a political system. It's a military political system. That's what a beast is. Just like, you have Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome, military empires. And when Rome fell, that beast grew 10 horns and a little horn on top, and it became Holy Roman Empire. And when one of the heads was wounded, well, there had to be another empire protecting it. And that was the United States. And people, we are that empire, and we are the ones that will, or we don't give the mark of the beast, but the mark of the beast will come from our government, initiated by our government. Yes, because that's what the Bible says, Revelation 13. But I wanted to make this video for you, or for you to see this interview with Daniele Ganser, so you understand why I tell you that the U.S. is this beast out of the earth, the false prophet. I know that's hard to understand. The prophet thing is hard to understand. But again, I made a video and I'm going to find it for you, and I'm going to put a link in the description box. Okay? So you don't have to find it. I'm going to find it for you. So people, watch that video if you haven't watched it yet. Why is the United States the false prophet? If you still don't know it, well, then it's maybe too late. Coming to an end. Again, read Revelation, read 13 and 17, also read Daniel 7 and 2, okay, to understand all these things. And always let the Holy Spirit guide you.